Hello, welcome and welcome back to this channel. This is John Unfiltered Commentaries, and I'm your host, John. So, guys, let's get into today's topic. We have seen that across the airports, embassies, and foreign borders, a quiet shock is hitting American travelers. US citizens are discovering that their passports are being cancelled while they are already overseas. They are not getting any warnings, they're not getting the countdowns, just a message, an email, or a sudden denial at the border checkpoint. Your passport is no longer valid. And guys, we all know that for decades, the American passport have symbolized freedom, a golden ticket that opened doors across the world. But today, that power feels different, fragile, and conditional. And so some Americans are finding out the hard way that unpaid child support and resolve tax issues, court orders, or administrative reviews can trigger passport revocation even when they are thousands of miles away from home. Imagine guys waking up in Europe, Asia, Africa, or Latin America and realizing you are suddenly stuck, unable to fly, unable to move freely, and dependent on an embassy intervention to just survive. So, guys, let us get into some videos here that I have for you. We listen to these cases, we listen to their reactions and the teachings that you're going to get from them. Then, at the end of this video, I will come back with a deep commentary and a deep dive into this whole issue. And, guys, the way you can support this channel is by subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and also dropping down a comment on the comment section on what you feel about this video. And once again, a disclaimer, guys, is that this video is meant for education purposes and entertainment only. No criticism to any government, group, or individual. See you guys.
Hi, my name is Marcy. I was supposed to be deported from Rome, but thankfully was not, and I'm going to go ahead and explain what's been going on with my passport in a non-vlog style video. So I originally did it in the form of a vlog because I thought that this is a hilarious situation. The circumstances are unbelievable. Like, who would this happen to? I thought it was just me. No. So I got tagged this morning on a video where somebody experienced the same thing a week apart in Thailand. And so now I'm not thinking it's so cutesy funny anymore. Now I'm thinking that there must be something going on. And so I'm going to go ahead and explain the different details of my situation. And I'm curious to know if there are a lot of overlaps with people who are experiencing a similar thing right now. So as of right now, I've only seen one other video talking.
This video is not super fun to make. However, I was encouraged to make it by the office of my congressional representative, which is a crazy thing to say out loud. Someone or something in the Trump administration wiped my existence from the US passport database. Let me explain. On December 19th, 2025, I received a notice at 2:17 in the morning, local time here in Los Angeles, that my access to the Global Entry Traveler Program had been revoked. And the reason for my revocation was that I no longer met the requirements for the Global Entry Program. Now, the requirements are not having been charged with a felony, check, never been charged with a felony, having valid identification and documents, check, I have valid documents, my passport was not expired. And one of the last things on the eligibility list was not under investigation for terrorism. Well, that exact day, Pam Bondi sent a letter to the FBI requesting that pro-trans activists be labeled as domestic terrorists. I'm shaking. So, as many of you guys know, I am a pro-trans activist. I have worked with the ACLU during the US versus Scrimeti case. I have a trans partner. I have a trans sister. I am very blessed to have many trans friends, and I have worked as a healthcare provider providing gender-affirming care for trans youth. And needless to say, I freaked the fuck out. I did also contact friends of mine who are attorneys and friends of mine who work in the federal government, and I was told there is a chance that this could have just been a clerical error. And so for the sake of my mental health, I just went with that. And they told me to go ahead and apply to renew my passport online and see what happens next. So last week, I did just that, and I applied on the US passport website to renew my passport online as it expires this coming year. I was then told that no one with my identity was found anywhere in the US passport system. At this point, I got in contact with my congressional representative and his office, and was told by one of the field staff here in Los Angeles that this specific notice was unusual and that there had been a record of clerical errors where people had been removed from the passport system because their passport was incorrectly marked lost or stolen. That is not what happened to me, and I was told that if that had happened, the error message that I received would have said that. It didn't. It said that no one with my identity was found anywhere in the US passport system. So, with the help of my congressional representative, and his office, I am now waiting for an appointment with the U.S. Passport Office here in Los Angeles to see what's going on, to see if there are any holds on my access to my legal documents that would allow me to travel and leave the country, and why this is happening. Because right now, no one seems to have a clear reason why. And again, it could be clerical error. However, knowing that I am allegedly the only person that this specific series of events has happened to, and also knowing that the Global Entry Program is a completely different governmental agency than the passport system, and that both of them had been alerted of me. I don't know. So that is my update for you guys. And if I go dark, I need you guys to be really loud. And if this continues to happen to people, or if this happens to you or someone you know, please get in contact with your congressional representative, and just know that there are pathways, and that also you are not alone, because I have been alone this whole time. I didn't think this was happening to anybody else, and I still don't know of anyone else that this exact series of events has happened to. So that is my update. Thank you for watching, and yeah.
I was deported from Thailand, and it's because the American system is failing you in a way that you don't even know about. So on December 28th, me and my girlfriend fly from Miami, Florida, to Doha, Qatar, to Bangkok, Thailand, and upon arrival, I go into immigration, and I'm told that my passport is flagged as lost or stolen by Interpol. So in case you don't know, the only way that it can be marked as lost is if you yourself mark it as lost. You need your social security number, your birth certificate, you need all of your personal information to mark it as lost. I did not do that. So here I am, about as far away from the United States as I could possibly be, with an invalidated passport flagged by Interpol, International Police, to which I did not know about. I'm then told that I am not allowed to enter the country, and I'm detained until I am back on United States soil. So I'm getting deported with an invalidated passport that I used to book 6 international flights, and I got on 2 of those international flights with an invalid passport. And I know for sure that it wasn't a mistake, it's actually invalid, because when we got back to the States, Customs told me that it was lost, and it was marked lost 1 month after I got the passport. So this means I didn't even have the passport in the mail yet, and it was marked as lost. But I got it, and then 6 months later, I used that invalidated passport to book 6 international flights, and I got on 2 of them. So they had no more information for me, so I contacted the Department of the State, like the department of the government that's responsible for this, and they said they have no idea what I'm talking about, they've never heard of this situation before, and they tell me to go to another department. So I called the National Passport Information Center, and in their system, it's not marked as lost. There's no problem with my passports from the National Passport Information Center. They told me that different departments handle the application of your passport, and there's a completely different department that handles whether or not it's lost or stolen. So hours on the phone later, with the only 2 departments of government that are responsible for this, I have no information as to what happened, except I'm told to send a physical letter through snail mail to a random government P.O. box, and maybe they'll know what's happening with me. I spoke to the airlines, I spoke to an immigration lawyer, and what I've realized is that getting on a flight obviously does not do a full check of your passport. Meaning that the only way I could have possibly known that my falsely flagged passport was flagged was to go through international immigration services in a different country. And they let me get on 24 hours of flights to be as far away from home as I possibly could be to find this out. If you're watching this, I sincerely hope you understand just how freaking dangerous that can actually be. To be totally clear, this was one of the most traumatizing things to happen in my and my girlfriend's lives. We are financially damaged, we are emotionally scarred. It was a horrible experience. However, we're back home, we're safe, but my concern is somebody a lot more vulnerable could go somewhere a lot scarier by themselves, and you would be stuck in a situation that you cannot come back from. So just as another reminder, if your passport is flagged by international police, you are still allowed to get on an international flight. This is not okay. We spoke to the airlines, they said it's not their job to check that. Why? Why is that not checked when getting on an international flight? The responsibility of an airline and our government, to an extent, is to ensure the safety of people getting on a flight. And they're not even doing a full check of your passport when you're getting on a flight. So how can they say that we're keeping us safe? So I'm not making this video to complain about what happened to me. I'm at home and I'm safe. I am making this video to spread awareness that this could happen to you, and you could have no idea that it's going to happen to you until you're in a dangerous situation. At this point, I have nobody to contact. I am resorting to emailing and sending letters in the mail to my local representatives, my state representatives, and I'm almost at a dead end and don't know what to do about it. If you or anybody that you know is involved in government or agencies or international affairs or even the airline, please show this to them, because I am literally at a loss at this point. The airlines don't give a shit about me. Every single government agency I've talked to don't give a shit about me. The people at the airport don't give a shit about me. So if you understand how dangerous this situation was for me and how dangerous it could be for you and other people, please give us a share and get it where it needs to go. Please send me a message or a comment or something, and American Airlines, waiting on a response.
Guys, let's talk about these changes that are from the orange, ruling party in the USA that are affecting data um, matches and documentations that are resulting also to issues that are being associated to security flags and problems that once could be resolved quietly, now enforced instantly in a digital age and leaving out people to struggle. And guys, the governments share information faster than ever, and the moment a system updates, the consequences hit immediately, regardless of where you are standing in the world. So this is the plight of the Americans in the current state regarding the issue of passports, and is an emotional toll, guys, which is heavy on these Americans. And guys, Americans abroad describe panic, fear, and humiliation. Hotel bookings become uncertain, jobs disappear, families are separated, and some are forced even to rely on temporary emergency passports that restrict where they can travel, while others are ordered to return directly to the United States, no detours and no explanations, which seems and looks like it is a way for the governments to force people to stay in their own country. So, guys, many foreigners are surprised. The idea that power nation can disable its citizens' mobility remotely challenges the old narrative of unlimited American freedom. It shows that no passport, no matter how strong, is immune to government control. So, guys, the critics argues that this is about accountability, enforcing laws and responsibilities beyond borders. Supporter says it is necessary to prevent abuse and ensure compliance. But why, guys, most of the peoples that have come out in these clips, they state that they have been compliant with all the requirements, even when outside the America. So, guys, for ordinary people caught in the middle, the experience feels less like policy and more like a punishment. And guys, this movement signals a shift. Travel is no longer just about visas and stamps, it is about digital compliance, real-time monitoring, and invisible decisions made far away from the traveler's control. One click, one update, and your identity changes. So, guys, for Americans abroad, the message is clear that citizenship does not mean immunity. The passport in your pocket is powerful, but it is not permanent. And so, guys, for the rest of the world watching, it is a reminder that in today's global system, freedom of movement is not guaranteed, and it can be revoked instantly, no matter who you are or where you are, guys, standing. So, guys, let's get this debate rolling on the comment section. Let me know, what do you feel about this whole issue. Is it a situation in which the orange government is trying to uh, limit their people within their borders? Guys, as we're doing this video, this is when Aisha Speed is touring. Just imagine what could happen if that case happened to him. We are experiencing, or the Americans are seeing the real representation of Africa to the to world, and breaking out ideologies that have been created about Africa. In that case, if that case happened, that Speed's passport is blocked, that will come to an end. So that is my opinion, that I think such kind of things are just limiting Americans to experience a better life outside than what have been construed about other countries and other nations. So guys, thank you for watching, taking your time, and let's interact on the comment section. See you in my next episode.